In this video, we are going to discuss about how to read and write the files. So in our previous video, we have seen the different functions of how to read and write data from a file. And we have also seen the theoretical concepts of the different modes of operation that can be used in files. So in this particular video, we are going to see a demonstration of the file operations. So as I told you, the first and foremost thing is, if we want to use files in C, we have to first declare a pointer variable, that is a file pointer variable, and we have to open the file, and we have to process the file, that is the mode of operation, whether to read or write or append. So those kinds of operations has to be done. So either read or write or append. So the processing has to be done. So once the processing has been done on that particular file, then we have to close the file. So these are the steps that we have to follow whenever we are going to use files in C. Okay, so in this particular video, what we are going to see is, first we are going to see how to write a file. And for example, when we are trying to write a file, remember we have to open the file in a write mode. Okay, and if the stream does not exist, then a new file is created, and if the file is going to already existing, then the content that is already been present will be deleted. Okay, so we'll see a live example of how to write a file. Okay, so basically we have seen 4 functions in order to write a particular data in a file. So for example, we saw the function that is fprintf, fputs, fputc, and fwrite. So I'm going to show you the demo for the first 2 functions. How can we write the data to a file using fprintf and fputs? So fputc, always you remember, for fputc it can accept the set of characters that is written in one line. Okay, and fwrite is actually used in order to write a file in a binary mode. Okay, or in order to write some binary files, we are going to make use of the function that is fwrite. So I'm going to focus on the first 2 functions, that is fprintf and fputs. Okay, so to begin with, I'm just starting my the preprocessor directive definitions. So I'm including the header files stdio.h and the conio.h, and I'm defining my main function. So first and foremost thing is, I have to declare a file pointer variable. So for the structure, that is file, I'm going to create a file pointer variable. Okay, so this file pointer, fptr, is a pointer variable. Okay, so it's a pointer variable. So this holds the address of the structure file, which is inbuilt in C. Now with the help of this file pointer variable, we are going to associate the file that we are going to use, and the content of the file that has been received through the streams will be associated only with the help of the file pointer. So basically, your file pointer will act like a file handler in order to associate the file that you are going to use. Okay, and along with the stream. Okay, the stream is actually a logical connectivity between your program and then the devices that are connected to your computer. Okay, so first and foremost thing is, we are going to declare a file pointer variable, and once your file pointer variable has been created, so here let's say for example I'm going to write a file, okay, that is related with some book records. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just creating few variables, character name, or let's say for example title of the book, author name. So both are character arrays of size 20, and price. Okay, and I'm using clear screen. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to make use of the function fopen. Okay, I'm going to make use of the function fopen. So function fopen opens a stream and it is going to associate a file with it. So the idea of fopen is it is going to open a stream and it is going to associate a file through the file pointer variable. Okay, so if you see the functionality fopen, it will accept the input arguments. That is, it consists of two input arguments. One is the name of the file that you are going to use, along with the physical location. Along with the physical location, you have to tell. So physical location in the sense in which particular folder or the directory the particular file is going to exist, and then you have to tell about the mode in which you are going to use the particular file, whether it is of read or write or append, etc. So I have to specify that. Okay, so for example here, if I'm just simply giving the name of the file, let's say for example books.txt, okay, and I'm just opening this file in a write mode. So W indicates about write mode. Okay, so your function fopen, okay, it opens a stream and it is going to associate with the file. So always remember, this will return a particular stream. Okay, and this particular function, okay, it will open a stream and it will associate the file, but basically fopen is going to return me a stream actually. Okay, and this stream will be assigned to your file pointer variable. Okay, so this is the way in which you are going to assign the stream along with your file pointer variable. So basically the function will open, the function fopen will open a stream, and where you have to associate the name of the file and in which mode you are going to operate that particular file. Okay, so here basically if the stream is not going to exist, okay, if the stream does not exist, okay, so let's say for example books.txt. Now here I have not given the location. So if I'm not giving the location, what it means that it will take the root directory in which your program is working. So basically my program is working in C:\tc bin folder. Okay, so in this particular directory my program is working. So what happens is, if the directory is not specified, if the location is not specified, then what happens is the physical location will be taken with the root directory in which your particular program is working. Okay, so or if you want to use it in the some other location, what you have to do is you have to make use of the directory name completely. Okay, so for example here I'm using a desktop, let's say for example, then I have to give the complete path location / the name of the file. Okay, so what happens is at the end of this particular statement, okay, a stream will be created and this particular stream is associated with the file. Okay, so kindly carefully track this. This is pretty simple. Okay, now if the stream is not created, so basically what happens is your fopen, it returns a successful statement of 0 or it returns null in case if it is not able to create the stream. If not the stream is created, this particular function will return a null value. Okay, so it is always essential that you are going to check your fopen function is going to return null value or not. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just putting a conditional check if fptr double equals null. So if this function is going to return a null value, that null value is getting assigned in the file pointer variable, and this file pointer variable is checked with null or not. Okay, so if it is null, then I'm just simply giving a customized message, cannot open file, and I'm just exiting the application. So so exit is a function that talks about the abnormal termination of your application. So 1 indicates the abnormal termination. Okay, so this is done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enter the book records. So we have done 3 things. The first and foremost thing is we have declared the file pointer variable and we have opened the file. Now the next thing is we have to process the file. Okay, so processing of the file will happen only through your through your functions that are specific to do the mode of operation. So we are going for the write operation, and for the write operation we have the specific set of functions, and we can use either of these functions depending upon our requirement. So here what I'm doing is I'm just prompting the user. So let's say for example I want to create 2 book records. So I'm just using a for loop. So I'm creating a variable I. So I'm just starting a for loop here. I is less than 2, I plus plus. So I'm asking the user to enter book name or book title, and I'm getting the information from the user in the runtime. So the same data is required for author. Now I'm using printf to enter the book price. So the informations are entered to the corresponding variables during the runtime. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write these information through the function that is fprintf. So normally your fprintf, I'm just going to make use of the function fprintf in order to write the data. Okay, so in order to write the data, what happens here is your fprintf is one particular function which writes the formatted output to the stream. Okay, so it's going to write the formatted output to the stream. So it will write the data that is formatted as specified by your formal parameters. Okay, so the function can have as many arguments as possible. So here, let's say for example, I'm just going to write the messages that is title, author, and then the price. The values that are stored in the variables that is title, author, and the price should be written in the stream. Okay, so basically we are trying to get the input from the user through the keyboard. We are just trying to get the information from the user through the keyboard, and that information that is received from the keyboard is being passed to the stream, and that stream is associated with your file. Okay, so here what happens is I'm just getting the information. Okay, so this information has to be written in terms of the formatted data, okay, or the formatted characters. Okay, so here I'm just going to make use of the same set of data that whatever I'm going to that whatever is being stored in the corresponding variables. Okay, so the data will be written in this particular format. So what happens is first I'm going to enter the book name, and then followed by a horizontal tab, followed by the title, the author name, followed by a horizontal tab, and then the price of the book. Okay, and this should be associated with a stream in the name of your file pointer variable. Okay, so this is the processing that we are trying to do in order to write the data to your file using the stream, and that particular stream will be associated with your file with the help of your file pointer variable. Okay, so this is a very simple syntax in order to write the data to the stream, and that stream is particularly linked with your file which you are processing. Okay, so basically your file pointer is used in order to associate your file along with the stream. Okay, so here what happens is this data will be written into the file, okay, in this particular format. So let's say for example the book title followed by horizontal tab, followed by the name of the author, followed by a tab, and then followed by the price of the book. So these informations have been written. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close the file pointer. So I'm using the function that is fclose. So I have to close the file pointer variable, and I'm just closing my main function, the return value. So I'm just running this piece of code. Okay, so I have to declare the preprocessor directives, that is stdlib. So here if you see, I'm trying to open the file in this corresponding location, but you are not able to open the file. So if you see the output screen, you can see that you cannot open file. So always remember, whenever you are trying to pass the path, the physical location path that is present in your computer, okay, through the slash symbol. So always remember this particular backslash symbol will be treated as a escape sequence. So whenever you are trying to give the path in such a way, okay, ensure that you are trying to give another backward slash. Okay, so I'm trying to create the file in this particular location, that is in my desktop. Okay, so if you see my desktop, as of now you don't find any such kind of files in the name of books. Okay, so this particular file in my desktop, okay, that is books.txt. okay, so now I'm trying to run the file. So now it is asking me to enter the book title. So let's say, for example, Thirukkural. I'm giving the book price as 50. Bharadiyar poems, Bharadiyar, and then I'm giving the book price as 40. Okay, so two entries, there is 2 records has been entered in this particular field. Now if you see the desktop, here you can see that a particular text file has been created, that is books. Okay, so the records has been entered. Okay, the records has been entered. Now what happens is I'm just closing this file, and again if I'm going to execute this particular file, okay, now let's say, for example, I'm giving a /n. So remember, we are opening this particular file, okay, in the write mode. Okay, if the file is already existing and if I'm trying to add few more record, let's say, for example, I'm giving the name as Malgudi Days, R.K. Narayanan, book price 150, 5 point someone, Chetan Bhagat. Okay, so I have entered 2 more records here, and remember I have opened the file in the write mode. Okay, so basically this books.txt is now an existing file in my desktop. Okay, so if you see my desktop, I have created, again the books.txt is there, but if you see here, the old record is missing. Okay, the old record is missing and we have only the new records. Now what I'm going to do is I'm again going to open this particular file in the append mode. Okay, the file is getting open in the append mode. Okay, and what happens is now I'm going to create the records. So let's say, for example, Thirukkural, Thiruvalluvar, Bharati poems, author name Bharadiyar. Let's say, for example, the book price is 40. So now what happens is, since this particular file has been opened in the append mode, okay, so the file pointer will be pointing to the end of the file of the previous notation. So previously the records will be held, the cursor will move to the location of the last character where the file has been there, and on top of that the new records will be added. So if you see the file again, so here you can see the new records are getting inserted. Okay, so in addition to the existing records, okay, in addition to the existing records, now what has happened is the new records are getting added. So we can see the file is working in the append mode as well. Okay, so using the function fprintf, okay, we have returned the data to the file, that is the existing file. Okay, so next what we are going to do is we are going to see how can we write the data in terms of using the fputs. So always remember your fputs is going to write one line to a file. Okay, your fputs is going to write one line to a file. Okay, comment out the previous section of code where we have used fprintf. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to call the function fputs. So I'm simply just giving a customized message. So here I'm making use of the gets function, and I've added a character that is details of character data type. So I'm just getting the input from the user through the character details. So whenever we are trying to use functions like gets, which is going to receive the input through a string, it is better to use the function that is fflush. So fflush, what it does is it is going to flush the stream contents. Okay, so we have to mention the stream as well, because stdin is the stream in which you are going to use the keyboard in order to give the input to the system. Okay, so we are going to flush out that particular stream. Okay, so flush is going to used in order to flush the contents of the stream. Okay, so the stream that we have mentioned here is stdin, that is a standard input. So we are going to receive the input through the keyboard. Okay, so that is why we are going to flush the values that is present in the buffer or in that particular stream. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make use of the function that is fputs. So always remember your fputs function is used to write one line to a particular file. Okay, so here let's say for example here we have to pass the string as the first input argument. Okay, so the string value is nothing but the details character array, and then we have to link that particular character array or that particular string, okay, to the stream. Okay, so the stream is being pointed with the help of the file pointer variable. Okay, so fine. So let's say for example here I've just opened the file in the append mode. Okay, so I'm just going to run this piece of code. So I'm just entering the value. So let's say for example book records saved successfully. Okay, so now if you see my desktop, you can see the new value or the new data that was entered through fputs, that is book records saved successfully, is being added along with the existing data that is present in your file, that is books.txt. Okay, so there is one way in which you can add the data through the function that is fputs. Okay, so there is one more way in which you can add the data to your file. Okay, that is through fputc. If you want to add more content on that particular file, okay, there is one more way in which you can add the content. Okay, that is through fputc. Okay, so fputc function, okay, so fputc is a function. Okay, so fputc function is used in order to write a character to a stream. Okay, so basically it will write one character to a stream. Okay, so that's a functionality of fputc. Okay, so it will write the byte specified, it will write the byte, okay, that has been specified to the output stream. Okay, to the output stream. So we are going to see how we can write the content of the we are going to see how we can write the content to the file, okay, using the fputc function. Okay, so I'm just using the same piece of code. Just getting the details using the character array, that is details. Okay, so I'm here. Since we have to write a character, okay, to the string, every character has to be returned to the string, even though if you are going to pass a string as an input argument in your runtime, okay, every string value will be processed in terms of a character. Okay, so here what we are going to do is I'm just going to make use of a for loop. I value equal to 0, I is less than details of I. So basically it will check, it will compare with the ASCII value of the character that is present in that corresponding array index. Okay, I'm just going to increment this value, and I'm making use of the function that is fputc. Okay, and this function will write the character. Okay, so let's say for example we have the character array, okay, and I'm specifying the index. So let's say for example I value equal to 0, so it will process the ASCII value of the character that is present in the 0th index of this particular character array details. Okay, so definitely that 0 will be less than the value, the ASCII value of the character. Okay, the condition will be true, so it will process the character that is present in the corresponding index of the character array, and this will be passed to your string with the help of your file pointer variable. Okay, so this process continues, okay, until you have reached the end of your string. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm just asking the user to enter the book records. So here every character will be saved. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is book details saved book details saved using fputc. So now if you see my books file, here we can see the new details that are getting appended. Okay, so basically we have seen three functions. Okay, so we have seen three functions in order to write the data to a file. Okay, so we have seen the functions, that is fputc, we have also seen fputs, and we have also seen the function that is fprintf. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just saving this particular file. So let's say for example write book is my file name. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the contents of this particular file. So a file has been written now, that has been created. Okay, and we have also seen how we can append the values on the existing file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write another piece of code in order to read the content of this text file, that is books. Okay, so I'm just opening a new file. So the process is same. Okay, so I'm just going to make use of the preprocessor directives, stdio.h and conio.h, and I'm just starting off with my main function definition. I'm just declaring a file pointer variable, and let's say for example I'm using clear screen. So this file pointer variable will be assigned to the function fopen, where we are going to open the file. So this is my path name where my file is being located. So you can choose your own path, but you have to choose the proper path. So the name of the file is books.txt. So and I'm going to open this particular file in the read mode. Okay, so fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check whether this f pointer is null or not. So I'm just giving a customized message. Cannot find file. Reading a file is pretty easy when compared to writing. So I'm just exiting the application. So now starts the real code where we are going to see whether you are how to read the content of the file. So in order to read the content of your file, so let's say for example I'm just creating another character variable. Let's say for example ch. So what happens is the content of this particular file will be it will be stored in your file pointer variable, that is fptr. So I'm just going to make use of the function that is fgetc. I'm just going to make use of the function that is fgetc. So fgetc function will return the next character from the stream. So remember, your stream will contain the data that is associated with your file pointer variable. So basically the fgetc function, it is going to return the next character from the stream, okay, and it returns a character whatever it has read as an integer, okay. So every time it reads a single character from the current position of the file, okay. So after reading the character, the function will increment the associated file pointer, okay, to the next character, okay. So what happens here is let's say for example your your file pointer is going to be the stream that is going to have the content, okay, that is going to have the content, okay. So it is actually the file pointer that is associated with the stream, okay. So the file is associated with the stream, so the contents of the file will be there associated with the stream. So your fgetc function, what it does is it is going to read every single character. It is going to read one single character from the function, okay. It is going to read one single character from the current portion of the file, okay. So after reading the character, the function will increment the file pointer to the next character, okay. So here what happens is I'm just going to store this particular value to the character variable, that is ch, okay. So I'm going to repeat this process in a while loop, and I'm just keeping the condition as true always, okay. So what happens is whatever record or whatever content that is being present, so here if you see, this is my file, that is books. So the first line is empty. So here you have the group of strings, or you have the group of characters. So every character will be read one by one. And once a character has been read, okay, then the file pointer will be updated to the next character position, okay. So here if you see my code, I'm just storing the value and I'm just going to print that particular value. Value is printed, and I'm just going to see whether your character value is going to match the end of file, whether you are reaching the end of file. So if you are going to reach the end of file, then you are going to use a break statement to come out of the loop. So once you come out of the loop, you are just going to close the file pointer, and I'm just finishing off my main function with the return value. So when I run this piece of code, so here you can see the records has been retrieved using the read mode operation, okay. So I've just made use of the function that is fgetc, okay. So you can make use of the other functions as well, like fread, fputs, but fgetc, what it does is it is going to return the next character one by one, but there are some restrictions when it comes for fgets and fscanf, etc. So what happens is there you have some kind of restriction that it can read only a specific number of character that has been specified by the size when it comes to fgets, fread, etc. Okay, so it is always advisable if you can use fgetc, okay. So this is an easy way in order to read a content of the file using the file operations, okay. So if you have any queries related to this particular video, you can post your questions in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video.